everyone. Give me a moment. I'm just setting some stuff up.
Winston and Geo. Hello.
Yo, Winston, it's good to see you. How's my audio quality going? I had some problems with my microphone yesterday. How you been?
Winston and Geo. It's good. Winston and Geo. How about you? Bryce Campbell. I just got here and I can hear you just fine.
Awesome. Also, hey, Bryce. And I'm doing all right, NGO. I do occasionally. Well, I'll talk about it during the stream. Hold up.
The All Creator Live Archives. Hello everyone. Please follow the YouTube guidelines. No spamming, no breaking up messages, no fighting. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to another day of All Creator Live. Alright, so as I was about to say a minute ago, I had some problems yesterday. Like, no problems with me, it was a problem with the stream. Like, I started the stream yesterday, and I thought everything was functioning alright. The problem is that, when I started the stream, because Microsoft did an update, I don't know what's going on with why it is this happens every time they have an update for my laptop, but every single time the microphone has to be configured in the settings to be the default microphone again. And I didn't check that before I started up the stream. I thought everything was functioning all right. And when I started it up, I knew something was weird because Draco and Domphey both showed up to the stream, and they were both arguing about who commented first. I gave them a warning. I said, okay, guys, it's not cool. Can't be arguing in the stream. It's one of the rules. But then they just kept going. And I said it a second time, and it's like it went in one ear and out the other. And I realized there is a delay to the stream. So I waited patiently, and nothing was going on. And here I am, like 20 minutes into the game, playing the game, doing like some side quests. They weren't very important side quests, so don't worry, you guys didn't really miss much of anything. But 20 minutes in, they still kept going. And well, not 20 minutes, I want to say maybe 10 minutes. I did play for 20 minutes though.
I'm sorry, that is my fault.
No, it's okay, Draco. It's really Microsoft's fault. I don't know why their updates do this every single time, but they changed the default microphone setting, and I have to change it back every time. But yeah, the microphone was completely muted, and I had no idea. So the third time, I was like, okay, if one more person says something about being first, I'm going to have to time out both of you. And sure enough, they just kept going. So I was like, all right, it looks like I'm going to have to give them both a timeout. And I gave them both a timeout. And then I was playing for another 10 minutes, and Bryce shows up. And I said, hey, Bryce, how's it going? And, you know, it's like he didn't hear me at all. So I was like, what's going on here? And then I looked at my settings, and I noticed my microphone wasn't working at all, and I was like, ugh. So I stopped the stream in order to change the settings. And then when I got back on, I was only on for like a minute, and the warning thing just came up telling me that I have to restart my computer. And I was like, I might as well not stream today. With everything that happened, I got real salty real fast, and I decided not to stream yesterday. I'm sorry, everyone. I really wish I could say that it was just an issue with something going on in my life or something huge, but it was really just a technical issue. And I don't like not streaming because of a technical issue. A technical issue is something you take the stream down, you fix it, you put the string back up. But it just felt like everything was against me, and I was starting to develop a headache, and I was like, it was crazy yesterday, and it was like a bad omen. Jason, you probably shouldn't be streaming today. And I took that as a sign, and I decided to just take down the stream completely and not put it back up. And it's not like you guys missed that much. I didn't do much of anything. I did this one side quest where I took a picture for a guy, and that was it.
I check my mic nearly every time I stream via OBS.
Yo, Time Lords. I just saw he came in.
PS5 before every stream. Time
Yeah.
Lords. Hey Jason, what's up? Are you doing well?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you, Time Lords. I'm feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I felt like just doing a chill stream so I could relax. And all kinds of things just piled up on me immediately. And I was like, oh, this is just making my headache worse. I had to stop the stream. But, you know what? Today's going to be a good day. Everything's working out fine so far. And we also got something going on. It gave me a notification.
Time Lords.
Weed and Sun.
Nice to see you.
Weed and Sun, thank you so much for following me on Twitch. Very kind of you. And if you're in the chat and feel like just lurking, that's totally fine. I'm happy that I'm happy you're here. I'm happy there are so many people here. This is great. This is going to be a good stream. A nice, good, chill stream. But yeah, Draco, I'm glad to see that the timeout has worn off. That's another reason why I'm streaming so late, is because I felt really bad about giving those guys a timeout. I felt bad about giving you and Domphy a timeout because you didn't deserve it. You know, you couldn't hear me at all when I was giving you the warnings. So I was like, I'll wait until 8 o'clock to stream today. That way, if they do decide to show up, they can start talking again. All right, so we got a new event going on for the next 5 days. Record of reflections writing. All right, so last time I streamed when all the problems happened, I finished a couple of... I've started this side quest, which was just something to do for the Pari, or whatever they're called. Yeah, that's it. They're called the Pari. But I don't have to do that one. It's not really a huge deal, but I can do that if I get this done. I'll do this side quest, and then I'll do the other one if we have enough time, if this side quest doesn't take too long. But yeah, I was right in the middle of that. That's why I'm Barbara, because I was playing as her when I stopped everything. I had her sitting on the side of a cliff. Part of me is thinking I should have kept the stream, but at the same time, it wasn't that interesting. I just did one really simple side quest, and that was pretty
I
much it.
never touched that light resonance quest myself.
Yeah, I think it was Doffy who told me that there was a new side quest today. So, that's good. We have 5 days to do it. We got to return to Monster. Oh, I know what this is. This is that one challenge. I see little coins where they put you in a little maze-like thing. This is like a puzzle challenge. I might be able to do this. This seems like it might be fun. Normally, it was always the tower defense ones that I had a problem with that I really didn't find that fun. But this time, they did a good job with the tower defense game, minigame challenge. That one was a lot more fun. So let's see what they do with this puzzle challenge. And I hope they didn't decide to do a reversal. This time, this challenge is the one that's not fun, you know. Oh, Soka, I remember her. Yeah, from the Yai Publishing House. Very interesting. We're talking with her.
I'm switching to Discord because of my phone, so I switched. I also noticed that Discord is now on PS5 where you can use it as voice chat.
Yeah, I saw that they were going to be doing an update. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten the update yet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't gotten the update yet, because I checked that this morning when I was relaxing in No Man's Sky. And, well, I didn't see it anywhere. And believe me, I looked all over the place, especially with the little guide that they gave you. I checked and I didn't have it, so maybe I have it now. I don't know. I haven't really played my PS5 since this morning, so. Oh, also, did you guys watch the Nintendo Direct? I didn't really. A lot of the games I know a lot of people were looking forward to, like the Metroid Prime 4 and the new Mario Party. I don't know. I don't know that many people that are happy about Mario Party, but I'm sure there are some that are interested in it. But what I was mostly excited for was the new Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, I think it's called. And it's done in the same art style and this with the same engine that they used to make Wind Waker. And I was like, yes! I was so happy because they're using it. They're actually using it for something. other than remaking old titles. Oh, okay, thanks, Bryce. I'll look into that when I'm done.
Downloaded Genshin twice.
Did it? Huh. I don't know how that would. Well, that sounds like it'd be a pain in the butt. Also, I don't know why it didn't advance the dialogue there. Doesn't really seem like it was that much. Usually they have 3 lines of dialogue and they prevent things from advancing, but this time, no. I also have some popcorn right next to me if anyone was wondering what that noise was a minute ago. But yeah, NGO, I definitely recommend that you look into that because you could have 2 accounts going on the same device. I had that on my phone for a minute.
As for the Direct, I have not seen it, but I saw the trailer for the DQ3 remake earlier today.
I saw that on Twitter, but I saw it through PlayStation. It does look interesting. It reminds me a lot of what they did with Star Ocean. You know, Star Ocean 2. And it makes sense because it's It's both Squaresoft, or Square Enix, I mean to say. So if their engine works good with one game, of course they're going to use it to do the same thing for another game, even if it's a different franchise. I mean, I would have much rather seen them do it with the first Dragon Quest, but I guess maybe they're trying to go in order, because the way the Dragon Quest series goes is the very first game is actually the second game in the series. It goes Dragon Quest 3, Dragon Quest 1, and then Dragon Quest 2. And then the game franchise branches off. So that could be what they're going for, because I didn't see any kind of remake like this for Dragon Quest 1 or 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone watching in the archives, go ahead and let me know I'm wrong in the comment section. But all of the remakes and HD upgrades that I've seen, like I have the one for the mobile phones, they're not as in-depth as the one that they showed off today for Dragon Quest 3. And besides that, they used the same engine to make a Dragon Quest 3 version of the HD remakes. So
DQ is made by a different devo, isn't it? I thought Enix was mainly a publisher before the merger.
it is a publisher, but that doesn't mean that they don't have access to their other
Don't be afraid to make
development
mistakes.
kits.
It's all
you
part
know?
of the learning process.
But it does definitely look like the same technique, at least. It's interesting in that they want to keep the aesthetic of the pixel sprites. They're obviously not the same pixel sprites that they used for the HD remake, or even, I mean, not the original or even the remake, the HD remake. But they are trying to keep that aesthetic going, which is cool. I like that. So I'm thinking maybe they saw the success that a lot of people that the Star Ocean 2 remake got and felt,
However, for DQ3, I saw said DQ1 and 2 should be released in the same style next year.
yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they're trying to go in order of the way that the series actually
I've
works.
seen another Final Fantasy trailer, I don't know much about it.
I know that there have been a lot of new Final Fantasy games. I just completely walked off, didn't I? I'm sorry, we're talking so much about new games coming out. There are, I think I've mentioned this on the Discord server, but there are a lot of indie developers popping up out of nowhere these days. And it kind of worries me because it feels like the indie scene's going to get super saturated, and that's going to bog down the quality of indie development. But at the same time, it is neat to see a lot of new games coming out. Some games have caught my eye. I have definitely revised my list of games that I'm going to be buying this year. I'm going to be spending so much money near the end of the year. Let's see. East 10, Fantasy Life 2, Waltz of Wizards VR. I want to get that. I want to try and stream that because the PlayStation VR 2 is going to have this new adapter that allows you to play games.
And handy bookmark.
That allows you to play VR games on the PC. So, you know what? I'm going to try and get that and see if I can set up the stream to work with my PSVR 2 in that way, hopefully. Let me see. Waltz of Wizards VR, that looks like fun. Astrobot, obviously, I really love the current Astrobot games. Yeah, that's definitely... Well, I mean, these are all up-and-coming developers. That's what I'm saying, is they're brand new to the scene. They've just they've started popping up out of nowhere, you know? Like no warning. It's just new developers, new indie titles coming out alongside of them, and it's weird, you know? Alright, Astrobot, The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. Obviously, I had just now put that on there. Sandland and The Plucky Squire, I'm still waiting for also. So that's quite a lot of games that are going to be coming out near the end of this year. The ironic part is a lot of them are RPGs. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why aren't they waiting? They gotta save something for 2025, you know? Because at the moment, the only games that I see that are coming out in 2025 that I want to get are Grand Theft Auto 6 and Light No Fire. You know? Just those two. That's the only two I see right now. And neither of them are RPGs. Oh, yeah. Well, no, that didn't start with 9. That actually started with 7. And it evolved in 8. If you remember, in 8, on the beach, you had to defend. You had to do this defense game on the beach. And in 7, they had that. I can't remember what it was. But I know I remember seeing it in 7. Yeah. But yeah, they, the one that I definitely remember is 8, and they brought that over from 8. 9 isn't the one where it started from. And besides, 9 actually made that optional, you know? You can get a lot of really good stuff by doing it, but at the same time, it's mostly optional. But yeah, I am looking forward to 10. I know my sister is too, so she might join us during that live stream. Alright, well, let's get this going. We've been talking a lot about video games. Let's take a look at this new minigame they got for us. Alright, I might want to grab my soda here. How do I start this? What's going on? Maybe I should be reading what she's saying. Great, I don't know what to do. Great. Maybe this will tell me.
I thought 9 required it for story, while it was mostly optional in 8.
No. Oh, you're talking about the... Oh, yeah. The defense thing that happens at the very end of each of the chapters. Right. Yeah, it is necessary, come to think of it. That's true. That tower defense thing that they have, it was something that they had in 8 too. You did have to advance the plot by doing it in 8 also. But yeah, you're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, that does happen a lot. And it did give me a problem at one point, but that's only because I didn't realize that you had to strengthen everything by going through the lesser versions of it that are shown in the basement of that one place. I don't know. It's been so long since I've played it. I completely forgot. But yeah, you're right, Bryce. It is something that you have to do at the end of each chapter. I don't know if they're going to have it again, but at least now I remember that you can strengthen the tower defense game by doing something else. I didn't realize that when I was playing 9, and it really aggravated me for a while there until I realized that there was another thing that you had to do before strengthening it. I think the problem I had was that I learned about it, and then I stopped playing the game for a while, and then when I picked it back up, I realized, oh, I don't know what to do, and that's where the problem happened. Is that it's not something that I really. It's not something that I. What's the word I'm looking for? Retained in my memory, you know? So hopefully they do a better job of that in 10. If not, I can at least try and remind myself. Future Jason, you gotta remember. Alright, well, you don't talk to anybody to start this event. It's just in the menu. That's okay. I like that too. Let's start. And I get to play as Clarend. Getting a lot of Clarend content lately. I guess we just gotta break them. Oh, do I have to hit these back? I'm not really paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing. Oh, I think that's what I was supposed to do. Really bad time for my nose to itch.
Enough.
Well, I mean... I think this is just a bullet hell challenge, isn't it? How long do I have to keep this up? I don't know. I don't know. That looks like a good medal. Let's exit and make sure. God, my nose was itching that entire time. I hate it when that happens. Just picks the worst time to start itching. Alright, well, here we go. I got all three. All of these are done with characters of their choosing. Alright, that's fine. Oh, okay, I see. I forget how her one move works. Okay. Slicers.
Skyward! Scatter!
Oh, I thought I could hold. That's not how it works, apparently.
Skyward! Skyward! Scatter!
Oh, whoa, shit!
Skyward! Scatter! Skyward!
Kind of.
Scatter! Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Skyward!
Oh, it's
Scatter!
okay. I thought it took a little while to recharge,
Skyward!
but
Scatter!
apparently not.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Scatter!
Am I supposed to be hitting something?
Yeah! Scatter! Skyward! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah! Skyward! Scatter! Yeah!
Not just double jumping? Ooh, that's right. This event just started today, didn't it? Ooh. Oh. I forgot. I gotta wait. When it comes to events that just start, you have to usually wait for a while. You have to wait for about 3 days, don't you? Shit. So everything won't be unlocked until next week. Oh, man. That sucks. Well, that's how that event works, everybody. Yeah. I won't be able to finish this on stream. That sucks. Because I'll be working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at my night job, so I won't be able to do this because I'll be sleeping for most of the day, and this event only has 5 days, so that means I'd have to do it on... Today is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to do it Thursday. Will it all be unlocked by Thursday? It might not. That's the problem. Shit. Well, we'll see. If it's unlocked Thursday, I'll finish everything up Thursday. But if not, I'm going to have to finish this on my own time then. Sorry, everyone. Alright, well, I guess now we could just continue with everything being a chill stream and whatnot. We can go and do some more side quests. Oh, okay. Thank you. I want to try at least make this 2 hours long. I try to make every one of my streams at least 2 hours long, because that's usually a good time for people. I typically, whenever I want to watch something long, you know, and have it in the background of whatever it is I'm doing, whether I'm drawing something or working, I look for videos and I want them to be at least 2 hours long, you know. That's a personal feeling, but I feel like that's just like a consensus around the board. Usually when people want to watch live streams or want to watch archived videos or videos on demand, whatever you want to call them, they want to watch something that's at least 2 hours long, because it's just something that you can let sit and you know, just veg out watching. Okay. So I guess we can continue with everything that was going on here. With the party.
It's so hot. Even a mist flower.
There, you happy? You don't have to deal with it. Now she can. Alright, let's get back up to where we were before I had to stop the stream. I had Barbara hanging off the side of this. Oh, I can't climb on this. Okay, well. I had Barbara hanging off the side of this cliff here. Because I was trying to figure out what was going on. I was like, what's wrong? Why isn't anything working? Right, this was the one we talked to, then Sorosh showed up and said something. I don't know. This is the one that usually wants us to do certain challenges, so I'm guessing that's what it is we're supposed to do. Gotta start the trial. Her evil trial. So here we go. Yeah, we're still doing challenging stuff.
Bryce Campbell. People usually say it is best to shoot for 2 to 3 hours, but I usually try to stream until particular times, depending on when I start.
Right. It's always a good idea to have your own set of schedules or whatever it is that you want to do when you start streaming. That way you can let everybody know in case they're thinking it's going to be a long stream. Ooh, that was close. Almost walked right off that cliff. Oh, okay, I was about to say, they gonna do something to let me get across there? I was really cutting it close with those mushrooms. Alright, come on. There we go. Still got lots of time. We're doing good. Yeah. Nice. That one wasn't so bad. I'd done in like... I had like a minute left. We did your challenge, Jar Jar. What? She's not happy? Why? Oh. Pork rinds are great. I know they're not good for me, but I eat them whenever I want something. Something crunchy. Give Paimon a hint with your eyes.
Bryce Campbell. When you say Jar Jar, I think Star Wars instead of Harry.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I just didn't want to bring it up.
Quick, let's pack it up.
Well, all that for that. Wait until the next day. Oi. It's no wonder I haven't finished this. This is one of those events where you have to wait until the next day in real time, in real life. So that explains why I haven't finished this one up. Alright, well, let's do this one then. Oh, this is in an area I have rarely gone to. I only went here once to take a look, and that was it. There's really nothing else to do over in this little section here. Cool. Glad to see that they had something. They actually put something there. Look for Julian's luggage in the water. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Time Lords and Bryce. I know I talk about this on the stream. Maybe it might be one of the ways. But yeah, as I was about to say, I usually mention this on Discord quite a lot, so I know you two have probably seen it. But I've perfected my dumpling recipe. I can actually make it the way I want it to be now. The only thing I'm having a problem with now is getting it to taste better. I mean, it tastes all right, but my mother's recipe, way back when she could remember what it was, tasted way better. I remember it tasting way better when I was a kid. And I'm thinking it's because she used Bisquick. I spoke to April about this, my sister. I told her, I don't know why, but it just, the dumplings do not taste as good. And she was like, well, maybe it's because you're just using regular flour. You're not using Bisquick. And far be it for me to say that a name brand thing is better than just the regular version of that thing, because I'm a strong believer in utilizing literally anything you can afford, you know? A lot of times I'll say you don't have to get the name brand of something, but if that is the case, and Bisquick is the reason, then I'm willing to give it a try when I have the money, because Bisquick's expensive. I know a lot of people say, oh, quality is better than something or other. I can't remember what the saying is, but I don't usually agree with that, because I feel like food is food. I know Remy from Ratatouille would disagree, but I'm just saying, the entire reason why food exists in the first place is to keep you alive. It's not there to be nitpicked over. And don't try to argue in defense of that movie, Ratatouille, because you're not gonna win. Literally all of the things in that movie, everything in that movie could not happen in real life. Absolutely none of it. Maybe the old lady with the shotgun, maybe that, but that's about it. Absolutely fiction, 100%. So do not try to use that movie to defend Remy's viewpoint. I get it. There is an artistry that comes with food. I'm an artist. I can get that. But at the same time, people need to eat. And you can't be fussing over the quality of ingredients when people are starving in certain places of the world that I won't mention, because literally everyone is starving everywhere these days, and it's... Dog! Hi, dog. Oh, he's guarding a treasure. Smart doggy. Where did this wild dog come from anyway? It's not wild, obviously. It will be barking at you by now. Ooh, arf. So cute. Bark, bark. Man, I'm gonna have to use wind.
I just eat a $2 hamburger with 20-cent cheese.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to buy a $5 hamburger. Hell, I've seen $10 hamburgers out there. Especially if you're buying them on DoorDash. Ugh. Ridiculous prices for a hamburger. I'm like, ah. I buy my own hamburgers. I make my own hamburgers. If it's a special occasion, I will. Ooh, Sir Pounce a lot.
They usually aren't that juicy, that's why I make my own.
Ah, right. That too. You know what? That's not a fault of the people making it. Because of how health conscious everybody has gotten these days, businesses around the world, they cut out the fat. They get rid of anything remotely making a hamburger juicy. Because it causes fat. Because it's high cholesterol. So that's why that happens. It's not a fault of the people making the food. It's just the whole health conscious community that we've built for ourselves, and how people are suing places like McDonald's for making their hamburgers too fatty.
Price Campbell. Most of those prices for Grubhub and DoorDash are likely for the service anyway.
Right. That's the thing. And it's not that I don't use them. I use them a lot. So, I'm not complaining about them. They're great services. I very rarely, you know what? Before places like DoorDash existed, before companies like DoorDash existed, I wasn't going out, I wasn't eating fast food anymore, because all of the places around here where I live now, you have to have a car to access them. There's no way you could walk to any of them. They're way too far away. So I'm happy for DoorDash. I could finally start eating at fast food restaurants again. I know there are people out there that be like, wow, you're so mid, Jason. And I'm like, fuck you. How long's it been since you've had something from a fast food restaurant? Jeez. Here we go. All right. I did it. Oh, damn it. I did not think we were going to be getting into a fight here.
Come on out!
And Shroud!
Show them. Emerge. Right here. Umbrella warfare, I guess. Attack! That's the way. Ha-ha! Hey there! Ha-ha! Ha! Hey there! Attack! That's the way. Ha!
Price Campbell. Speaking of McDonald's making food fatty, I was reminded of the documentary Super Size Me, which
Oh,
was later shown to be flawed because the guy had an alcohol problem.
exactly. That's true too. I worked at McDonald's when that movie came out. I worked at McDonald's when that movie caused all that controversy. So I can honestly tell you, McDonald's used to make their cheeseburgers, hamburgers, their patties way more delicious before all of that controversy started. You know, they used to be nice, juicy little patties. And if you ordered a quarter pounder, there were a substantial amount of meat and beef. And it was all really good. I used to eat them all the time, but they forced us to start drying out our hamburgers because they implemented this thing where there was this big machine that they brought in that you have to shove the patties into now to dry them out. And you can't serve them unless they've been in that little device for a certain amount. It keeps them warm. Don't worry. It keeps them, they're fresh. They're still fresh. But it dries them out. And you have to put them on these stupid cellophane paper things that absorb the moisture and the grease and stuff like that. And it just ruins the flavor of the patty when you do things like that. Because that's the thing. The grease and all that gets absorbed by the bun. It improves the flavor of the bun. And if you want a hamburger, that's part of the experience. I know it sounds gross, but the grease, the fatty parts of a beef. That's why you want
Yeah,
a
they used to
hamburger.
deep fry the fries with beef fat, but that was too unhealthy, so now they put beef flavoring.
Yeah, that's true too. I've heard that they do that in a lot of places also. I don't know about any of that because I was working at McDonald's. You just get the patties frozen and you put them on the grill and stuff like that. You don't see how they're actually made. They're just shipped to you like that. But I heard that's something that they started doing also, which is something that they didn't do way back when I was a kid. Uh, as far as I can tell, it really doesn't taste that different. They're just not as moist and not as juicy as they used to be. And that's a real shame. In fact, if anything, you get more moisture out of the sausage patties at McDonald's than you do out of the burger patties because they're made a different way. You don't have to do a lot of. I mean, I don't know how they do things these days because I haven't worked at McDonald's since 2005. Oh, wait, no, what? That's when I worked at the Baltimore Sun. 2006. Right, it was 2006. That was the last time I worked at the Baltimore Sun or at the at McDonald's. I don't know how they do things these days, but it's just because of that movie, it really ruined a lot of fast food for a lot of people. And that's the whole reason why you buy fast food. You don't go out to a fast food restaurant and think health consciously. You do it because you want it, you know? Hi, Monty. But yeah, I definitely feel like movies like that really fucked up the fast food world, fast food industry. And that sucks because A, there are a lot of people that work in that industry, and you're messing up their jobs and taking away from the amount of profits that they make. All the poor employees that get laid off for shit like that, like the hot coffee incident when the lady got her lap burned. I believe me, that's horrible. It's horrible that it happened, but because she totally deserved to sue the company, but because of the backlash that that caused and how paranoid all of the companies got, it really just made the whole frivolous lawsuit thing something that people decided
I
to
think
start
that would
doing
depend on what the
regularly.
terms are for franchising now, since McDonald's themselves run very few of their locations directly.
Right. And let me tell you another thing is that I'm finally happy to see that salted peanuts are back on store shelves. They were taken off of store shelves. You couldn't get salted peanuts for several years. I don't know when they started coming back on store shelves, but I knew for the longest time you can only get dry roasted, uh, minimal salt, sea salt, all these alternative options that are healthier choices for peanuts. And all I wanted was a regular salty, what are they called? It begins with a C. Shit, what's the word? Cocktail peanut. That's all I wanted. Was a regular salty cocktail peanut that's got the peanut grease all over it and stuff like that. But you couldn't buy them anywhere for the longest time.
Cashew.
No, not cashew. It was cocktail. They're called cocktail peanuts. They're really good.
Winston and Geo.
If you haven't had them, try them. This for me, it's like the best kind of peanut experience. Having a cocktail peanut because they're nice. They got the peanut grease on them. They're nice and salty. But for the longest time, because of how health conscious everybody was, you couldn't find them anywhere. Now, here's the thing. I get wanting to lose weight and I get the temptation of having stuff like that in stores and in restaurants, but it's all about moderation. It's all about whether or not people can handle it. And when they can't, of course, you should put the blame on the person themselves. If they can't handle it, they have to learn how to handle it. You don't blame the organizations, the companies that make these things the way that they do, because then you're just ruining it for everybody that wants that experience. And a lot of people have more self-control than that. I say if a rich person wants to get fat and die fat, then let them get fat and die fat. That's all I'm saying, is because one less rich person in the world, taking all the money from us hardworking people. If they have low self-control, then that's on them. It really is. We shouldn't be suffering because of shit like that. There's an episode of King of the Hill that does a perfectly good job of explaining this. It was because of the all the controversy surrounding GMOs, or I think that's what it was. No, it was MGOs, monosodium glutamate, which is, basically a higher contract, a higher uh a higher intake of salt content than regular salt or sea salt, or the kinds of salt that you would get from the ocean or the earth. These are higher salt quantities because, if I remember correctly, it's stuff that's been dried out of certain vegetation. It gets dried out, and it's a higher salt content uh, because it cuts out kind of the middle situation that you have to deal with. When you're getting salt from the earth, there's dirt and all that stuff that's inside of it that has to be extracted from the salt in order to get the pure salt, and that cuts down on the salt quantity. When it comes to getting salt out of water, you're having to get rid of the water part of the salt, which is cutting down on the salt quantity. But if you're getting salt from plants, you're not really having to get rid of that much of anything, because plants are plants. You can eat plants. It's totally fine. So it doesn't cut down on the amount of salt that you have to extract from the plant. And monosodium glutamate was a lot higher in salt quantity. So a lot of places for a long time, they were saying, don't eat this. It's bad for your heart. It's bad for your digestive system. It's bad for your brain because it causes migraines, things like that. And all of that was just a lot of health gurus. Again, I know I said this the last time we did a health stream, but these health gurus, they'll do like literally anything for you to buy their books, and they'll say basically anything. They cherry pick ideas and then they blow them out of proportion. And that's exactly what they did with the monosodium glutamate thing. And now very rarely you'll see anything with MGOs in it, and things even advertisers, no MGO in this. And I don't really feel like that's a benefit. That's not something you should feel honored to advertise. But yeah, there's an episode of King of the Hill that does a really good job of explaining this. It's they started taking MGOs out of literally everything, and Hank was trying to explain it's all about self-control. And to contrast that, they had Bill, his best friend, who's an overweight slob, eating all kinds of healthy foods and saying, "Oh, I'm so happy that all this food is healthy for me, and now I don't have to worry about how much I eat." And he just kept getting fatter and fatter because he thought he's eating health food, so it's okay. But that's not the thing. It's not a matter of whether or not it's healthy. It's a matter of whether or not you have self-control and can tell yourself, don't eat this. You already had enough for today. And yeah, it's just one of the things. It seemed like back in the 2000s, all anyone wanted to do was pin the blame on something else. And that's exactly what I know that a lot of the things I've been saying today make it feel like the businesses and the corporations were all being victimized and things like that over a lot of the stuff that happens. But it's their fault also, because they took the situation and they ran with it just to make money. And that just made things even worse, because now we got health food items on the shelves taking up so much space on the shelf, and they're twice as expensive as the regular stuff. It makes no sense. When there is little effort that goes into making a lot of the stuff, they're twice as expensive for less the cost. And it's just another way that companies are being super greedy. So no, they're not the victims in this situation. I know it feels like I made it sound like that, but they aren't. They definitely are not. If anything, when people started complaining, they said instead of taking responsibility for our actions, let's just pin the blame on some pseudoscience and then run with it and make a lot of money. And that just made things even worse. So, yeah, if you get the chance, I really wish I knew what the episode was called, but you watch any episode of The King of the Hill, they're really great. It's a really great series. I do like a lot of Mike Judge's work ever since he made Beavis and Butthead. I might not be in agreement with a lot of things that a lot of statements he makes, but
the only problem I have with the self-control perspective is that you are trusting human nature too much. Yes, it is important to have self-discipline, but it is best to make those efforts easier.
well, yeah, that's when a lot of times third parties are. I think I talked about this. I explored this last time.
For example, eating food that fills you up quicker.
Right, that too. A lot of times when you eat foods like that, you need to know, you need to be aware of when to stop. And if I remember, I mentioned this last time, but you got to get advice from someone. You have to speak with people who are actually looking out for your health, like a doctor. I remember I stated this last time I was talking about health conscious stuff. But yeah, you definitely need to speak with your doctor. They can get you on a schedule. They can get you help if you need it. If you are one of those poor individuals who have absolutely no self-control when eating and have gained a lot of weight, there are options for you out there. There are I can't remember what they're called. My grandmother had one. Hospice workers, I think is what they're called. But their job is basically to pay house visits and make sure you are keeping up with whatever it is the doctor says you're supposed to keep up with. And I can't remember exactly what it is, but I know that if you don't meet certain requirements, I think that your health benefits or your medical benefits or whatever it is that you're using to pay for it get canceled or something like that. I can't remember. I've never needed anything like that, so I'm not very experienced with it. But if you are someone out there who does have more experience with it, please in the comment section say something, because right now, everything I'm talking about when getting advice for this type of stuff, I've never had to, so I'm very inexperienced. I'm just trying to find that episode of King of the Hill so I can give you a better reference point. King of the Hill, GMO episode. Alright, let's look at the brief description here.
Bryce Campbell.
That's not it.
Yeah, a dietitian would be more knowledgeable on what is likely best to eat.
Yeah, there's that.
I've
That's
heard that weight loss is 80% diet from a former dietitian.
That's the thing that I'm thinking about. Yeah, a doctor can get you a dietitian. They can recommend people. They can actually have people pay house calls to your place if you really need it. Because I know there are a lot of people there that get ridiculously heavy. So, oh, I put down the wrong thing. All right, I keep putting in the wrong thing. I'm just gonna type in health food. There have been so many episodes of King of the Hill. It's kind of hard to narrow it down. They've talked about health food stuff. So many damn times. They talk about it in good ways. They talk about it in bad ways. You're just gonna have to check out the series. You're gonna have to take my word for it. I know there's an episode that I saw that scene plays out in my head every time that I think of people who have who have impulse control. You know, I just think about Bill shoving donuts in his mouth, and he's like, "It's fine because they're healthy for me," or something like that. I don't know.
I do love Spina di Rosula's logo. It was just...
God. All right. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was changing back. You guys gotta stop getting me. I don't know exactly where this conversation came from. I don't know how this whole thing happened, but you guys
We can do this.
just have this way of getting me to talk about health tips and things like that. And I don't want to do that. That's not even one of the reasons why people visit my streams. That's not even a popular topic of conversation right now. Sure, it was 10 years ago, but these days people are like, you know what? We're all in agreement. People with low self-control, they need to be stopped. They're messing up the natural order of things. And it's not like how it used to be. People don't consider Americans fat anymore. People don't think that hamburgers are the grossest thing in the world anymore. And people aren't praising health foods like they used to. So the world is healing. I'm sure if you're looking for things like that, you can definitely find it, but it was more ridiculous back in the 2000s. Let me just tell you, if you weren't alive during that time period, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was all literally anybody could do, and for the longest time, you couldn't find anything unhealthy. At least here in America, you couldn't find anything unhealthy. You know, everything that was on the shelves was a health food. And if it wasn't, then it was touted as being a health food, you know? They were saying things like, "Oh, this doesn't have this, doesn't have that. It's good for you." Even though it wasn't, you know? And the truly horrendous stuff, the stuff that everybody knew was bad for you, kept getting pulled off of shelves, kept getting taken off of menus. It's the whole reason why the rib witch hasn't come back since it was departed. It's the whole reason why a lot of things just haven't made a comeback. Is because companies are afraid they'll get sued for being unhealthy, and I'm glad we don't have to worry about that anymore. Because that was a huge thing for the longest time. But frivolous lawsuits like that don't exist anymore. People don't sue people for putting fat in something. They make it abundantly clear, and they've always made it abundantly clear, that this thing has a crap ton of fat in it, and if you eat it, you're gonna get fat. And I think with the hot coffee situation, that was 100%. I know a lot of people say that's a frivolous lawsuit. No, I don't think it was, because honestly, Sure, she was clumsy, but she was old, and the person giving the thing to her just did not make it to where she would know any better, you know? It's like when you're handing somebody a knife. You don't hand them the knife by the blade's end. You hand them the handle of the knife. You don't hand them the blade and say, here you go, take this knife, because that's another classic Simpsons moment. Wait, was that it? Was that all of the side quest? We just had to help the guy, right? I remember we had to get his stuff, and I guess we had to help his dog out. Alright. His dog's name was Pepper. And his name was Julian. Path of Pilgrimage, huh? Oh, can I? Oh, I can't. I want to put something in the bowl for the doggy. How dare you allow me to not do that? How dare you make it to where I can't do that? That's mean. He's so hungry. Look at him. What's in this cave? I feel like I've already looked down here, because I've already been here, obviously, so... Oh, Bryce, I know that I've put it on the Discord server, but I just noticed that trailer that shows off a bunch of the dragons for Natlin. There are actually 3 other types of dragons.
People consider it frivolous lawsuit because of the jury giving her $2.7 million, rather than the details that stated that McDonald's bore at least 20% responsibility.
See, that's the thing. That goes back to what I said about companies not taking responsibility. Instead of taking responsibility, just throw the money at the problem. That's something that hasn't changed and really needs to change. Is a lot of these companies these days, they get away with so much just because they throw money at the situation. And it's something that shouldn't be... It's something that shouldn't happen, you know? Oh, I know where I'm at. Yeah. Huh. I didn't realize that this led out to there. Okay, well. That's how you get there. Oh, I didn't realize this place had a name. Maybe they did that for one of the updates, but now it has a name. Samadra Coast. But yeah, Bryce, I was looking at the trailer again for those dragons that they showed off. In the trailer for Natlin and Genshin Impact, and it looks a lot like there are 3 other dragons that we haven't seen yet, because the ones that they showed off looked like it looked like there were 6 houses of dragons, and the ones that they showed off were 3 markings that they showed off from the 6 that were on that wheel at the very beginning of the trailer. So we probably haven't seen all of the dragons. There's probably 3 more that we haven't seen yet. Either way, I'm excited. I really want to see everything that Natlin has to offer, because they are 100% keeping it under wraps. It's so... Oh, right. I gotta wait for the following day. I forgot about that. Alright, collect Sumeru Rose Seeds. Alright. Sounds doable. I think I can do that. Where? Sumeru Rose Seeds. Do I have a Sumerian Rose?
there are some as big as Piglin. Making a dragon of that size would be more interesting than small ones we saw.
I don't know. It feels a lot like that would be difficult for them to do. Because, I mean, look at the boat that we get. It's so tiny. Feels like the only way that they could give us any type of mount situation is if it was small, about the size of an actual character, you know?
Cookie_sweetie. Hi there.
Hey, Cookie! It's good to see you again! Wait, is that a Sumerian rose? Yeah, here it is. I don't have a seed for it. Maybe I can get a seat in...
Bryce Cannon. That's true.
So yeah, I hate to say it, Bryce, but it looks like we're gonna have to... We're gonna have to bite the bullet and realize we're not going to be flying on any giant dragons. I really don't see that being something that would be plausible in this game anyway, you know? Like, because we can teleport around to anywhere, it doesn't feel like it would be a viable source of transportation anyway, you know? I get when we're running from one point to another, it makes sense. When we're doing quests and stuff like that. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense then. Because we're on the ground, we're not looking to warp somewhere. But... we don't really need to fly through the air to get from one place to another if we can just warp, you know? Okay, let's see if we can find any seeds. I know we can buy seeds here, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Ah, here we go.
If you ever have any...
I got him. Now where do I go? Oh. I have to get out of here.
Cookie_sweet. I play this game too. I'm AR16. I have been making too much accounts, so the account I have been playing on is my last account, Karen.
Oh gosh. You sound a lot like my friend Aaron. For the longest time, he was making accounts over and over again to try and get a good character to start with. And I'm like, oh, come on. Needless to say, he doesn't play anymore. And it's not that he doesn't like the game, it's that he doesn't have the space for it anymore. He plays on mobile, and he said unless the game comes to the Nintendo Switch, there's no way he'd be able to play it anymore. Because he doesn't have much space left on his mobile phone for any new game. In case anyone's wondering, these pork rinds are my dinner. Pork rinds aren't the healthiest thing, but at least they're healthier than some things. And I honestly haven't eaten since 11, so been pretty hungry.
Bryce Campbell. Having Genshin on Switch would have been nice, but it likely is not coming at this point, even though they showed a trailer for a Switch release.
I know, right, Bryce? Alright, cool. Actually, for a dream at Terry. I remember seeing that one a lot. But yeah, Bryce, the whole bringing the game to the Nintendo Switch thing. I'm kind of wondering if it's an issue with Nintendo itself. Because I remember being told once that Nintendo occasionally will refuse games to be put on their service if the game isn't finished. You know, if it's a game that has several updates to it that you have to wait for. Because Nintendo has this certification quality to putting games on their system. And it could be a case that because this game is technically still in development, because this game advances by each of its patches, that could be why they don't allow it to be put on their system. But I don't know. That's just something I remember hearing somewhere or reading somewhere, but that does explain a lot of things. It could also explain why it's not on the Xbox, you know?
I heard LT was because software issues.
I don't know. I feel like because this game is available on mobile,
Or something like that.
I feel like since this game is available on mobile, it could be made for the Switch. I'm pretty sure the Nintendo Switch is as powerful as a mobile phone, at least, you know? Alright, so now we can do that one quest again. Apparently it's not an issue of waiting an actual day, but it's more of just waiting for an in-game day.
Hot. Even a mist flower would melt in this heat. No.
Tanari realizes, oh no, I'm complaining again. Every time you complain, Tanari, I'm gonna swap you out, okay? You don't like the heat, I'm not gonna force you to run around in the heat. Alright, let's see what she has us doing today. Wait, where is she? I don't know where she is. It's like, talk to her, and I'm like, where? Oh, there she is. Oh, treasure.
I'm loving this treasure hunt.
Hello again, Jar Jar. Yeah. But yeah, Cookie, it's a good thing you weren't here yesterday. I had so many technical issues. It was a crazy day. I ended up not streaming because of all the problems I had.
My Tainari got to level 3 the last time I touched Genshin. He's still leveling up as if you were grinding in DQ, even though I'm not trying to build him.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. Especially at such a low level. I remember my Amber did that a couple of times, and for a minute I thought that's how you were supposed to level up, because it's a natural thought, you know? When you're playing an RPG, or even an action RPG like this game is, when you're playing any kind of RPG, you beat bad guys, you get experience points, you level up. That's how it's always been. But when I noticed that my character wasn't getting level ups, I was like, huh, something weird's going on, and then I realized I was supposed to be spending these books to give them the levels they needed, because that's where you get all the experience from. And I was like, huh, that's very different. I'd never experienced anything like that. A game where you have to get items in order to progress with the leveling system. It didn't really make much sense to me at the time, but it's an okay system. It's not the best, because at the beginning, you're kind of struggling to get the books and stuff. But eventually you get so many opportunities to do it, that so many opportunities to get these books, that it doesn't become an issue anymore. If anything, it becomes an issue of getting the items to advance your character further. But then again, there are a lot of games that do that. Trials of Mana, in order to progress and advance your character to their next, I want to say, evolutionary form, you have to use certain items and get certain items.
This game is very big chunky, so I can see why it's not on Switch.
Yeah, that could be another reason. I feel like that shouldn't be a reason, because the Nintendo Switch has the option of allowing for SD cards to be swapped in and out and stuff like that, and there is no max size of SD card that they will allow to work with their system. But that could be another reason why they didn't want to put it onto their console. Really, we just have to get a statement from Nintendo. As far as putting this game on their system goes, there are so many rumors involved. It's ridiculous. And you can't trust literally any of them. I know a lot of the things that I've said sound like they might be the case, but I'm just saying this again. Those are rumors. It was just a rumor I heard that's not true. Nintendo has neither confirmed nor denied that to be the case. And if it is an issue with Genshin, if Genshin is refusing to do, to put it on a Nintendo console, then they need to make a statement, that's for sure. But that might not be the case. It might just be a case of both of the console developers, Nintendo and Microsoft, both being like, nah, we don't want this game on our system. And that seems way more likely than it being Genshin saying, nah, we don't want to put this on those consoles. Because that's just more money they could be making, you know? This entire game's financial system relies on the amount of people that play it. So if it was an issue of Genshin not wanting to put the game on those consoles, that would just be denying themselves the ability to make money, you know?
As that is the max of the SD card standard used on it.
Yeah.
You can only get up to 1 TB currently.
Yeah, but that's enough for literally any game, Bryce. I'm just saying, if it is on Genshin, then that makes absolutely no sense. Why would they be denying their ability to make money off of their video game, when the entire reason why this game makes money in the first place is because so many people play the game, You know, the more people play this game, the more chances they have to make money. So denying it to be placed on consoles like the Switch and the Xbox, it would just be them saying, you know what? We don't need money. You know, we're a corporation. Corporations don't need money. Are you kidding me? And that just seems very unlikely to me. So it feels more like it's a case of Nintendo and Microsoft both saying, nah, we don't want this game on our console. So whatever the situation is, they should probably make some kind of statement, you know? But that's the other thing too. They don't have to make a statement. If it's something that they don't want on their console, they don't have to make a statement about it. Recently, a lot of people are upset about the new Capcom versus Marvel collection not being on the Xbox, and a lot of people are making all kinds of speculations right now. But it most definitely is a case of Microsoft not wanting the game on their system, because it's available everywhere else, but it's not available for a Microsoft console. And that just says to me that it's because Microsoft doesn't want the game on their console, at least not yet. There's got to be some kind of legal reason why they don't want it on their console, and we just don't know that. And it's the same case with Genshin Impact. Nintendo and Microsoft both don't want the game on their consoles, and if that's the case, then there has to be some kind of legal reason for it. It's not an issue of spite. It's not an issue of the fact that this game is resembling other games or something like that. It's just a legal reason that they don't want to deal with, and they would more prefer it not to be an issue than to have it actually being an issue. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's a Pal World situation. Nintendo doesn't want Pal World on their system because it's too much like Pokemon. No, that's not the situation at all, because if that's the case, then Genshin Impact would be on a Microsoft console. It would be on the Xbox or the Xbox One S. Then if they're not, then that has to mean that there's another legal reason why they don't want the game on their systems. It's not that they can't handle them either, because obviously, since the game is available on a mobile system like phones and iPads and things like that, then it should be able to run on a Nintendo console. There shouldn't be any problem with that on the Nintendo Switch, I mean. And it definitely shouldn't be an issue for Microsoft's Xbox One S if the PlayStation 5 can handle it. So it's just a legal situation that we're not privy to, and it's really nothing that can be helped right now. We can beg and plead for this game to be on those consoles all we want, but it's not going to happen if the game companies don't want to cooperate. And that's just another reason why people need to look into why the Marvel vs. Capcom collection won't be on Microsoft's Xbox consoles. So many people just tend to jump to conclusions all the time, and there's really always a very simple explanation, and people don't want to wait for it. And I hate it when they don't wait for it, because then when they get it, they try to make up some kind of conspiracy theory. They say things like, no, that's not the reason. My half-cocked idea is the reason. Listen to me. And I'm like, well, if the company's telling me this, if Nintendo's telling me this, I'm more inclined to believe Nintendo than you, because this entire time, for years, you've been making up all kinds of bullshit. And when the company comes out and says something completely different from what you're saying, it kind of leads me to believe that you've been lying to me this whole time, dude. I don't know who you are. using a straw man character to try and define exactly who this person would be, whoever it is that's out there saying Genshin's not coming to the Nintendo Switch because it looks too much like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's not the reason, and you know it's not the reason. You're just making up garbage. There are people that say that, and it makes no sense because there are a lot of games that look like Nintendo properties, but they're on the Nintendo Switch itself, you know? If Nintendo had a problem with things like that, then I'm sure that they would 100% do legal things because they've done it before in the past. They do it lots of times. They do all kinds of stuff. But when it's an issue that it's beyond their control, of course, they're not going to make it aware, because there's another point to this that a lot of people aren't looking at. If Nintendo was to come out and say exactly what legal reasons a game doesn't qualify to be on their console, or whatever legal reasons prevent them from suing certain companies, then that means that other companies are going to look at that and be like, oh, so that's why they can't sue this company? Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do nothing but that now. And Nintendo won't have any way to stop it. You know? There are reasons why companies don't come out and just flat out say why they can't do these things, because it would just put them in a weaker situation than they're already in. The reason why they're not coming out to say why they're not suing Power World is strategic. They're not going to just flat out say, hey, this is how you can cripple our corporation. That would be the dumbest move that they could ever make. Instead, they're just going to let people say random shit and let them posturize as much as they want to, because they're not going to give any other corporation the satisfaction of knowing exactly why Power World exists and why it continues to exist, you know? Because the minute they do, you know everybody's going to jump on that train and do the exact same thing, because they know that they can't be sued for it. I mean, look at the world of fan-made games and things like that. How many Nintendo properties have been made in parody accounts, in parody games, and in parody animations and things like that Nintendo can't legally do anything about. And it's because when they do, like for instance, when they sued the Smosh or whoever it was that was singing the Pokemon theme song on their video, they sued them over that because they don't have the legal rights to do so, but they didn't realize that it was a parody, so Nintendo lost that court case, and then everybody just started to jump on the bandwagon and started parodying the hell out of the Pokemon song just to spite Nintendo and their legal recourse, you know? You don't want to put yourself out there like that. It makes you vulnerable, and that's something that people just don't take into account when it comes to these legal recourse situations.
Bryce Campbell. Digimon also exists and people compare that to Pokemon a lot.
Exactly. It's the same situation. It's not that Power World isn't doing its own thing. It's obviously doing the whole monster thing that Pokemon does, but it's something that existed a very long time ago. It's not the first game to ever copy Pokemon, and it won't be the last, because technically Pokemon's not being copied at all. It's just a genre of video game. And to say that somebody is copying something because it's in the same genre is ridiculous. And that's why Nintendo doesn't sue Power World. I know there are a lot of people that have gone out of their way to waste their life, waste their time to point out, oh, this is why Nintendo can sue this company, that they have to do it immediately right now. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because it never happened in the past, and it's not going to happen now. I think I watched a YouTube video about this a long time ago, about the whole Pal World situation. And they came up with the exact same reasons that I'm talking about right now, is because this kind of thing just happens. They're not copying anybody. Nobody's copying anything when they make video games. It's just a genre of video game. Who cares if they have similarities in certain areas? It's not downright taking characters from the franchise and putting it into their game. Yeah, well, a lot of times I don't like to rant and ramble in my videos and in my live stream, but during these chill streams, I do like to get a little prophetic, and I don't know. I think there could be somebody out there that finds it interesting. But I'm sure there are people that are better at explaining this type of stuff than me. You could go look up things like that. There are probably thousands of videos and video essays going through this exact same rant.
Exactly. Plus, if they want to say Pokemon is the original Monster Collection game, SMT actually predates Pokemon, but Atlas never went after Nintendo.
That's true too. And there are a lot of people that like to throw around the whole Metroidvania word a lot, when Metroid and Castlevania weren't the first of their kind. There have been games like that for years. There were games like that back on Spectrum devices and vector graphics cards and vector graphics computers. It's not like exploration on a 2D platform was a new thing either. Pitfall did that. And I realized Pitfall wasn't the first platforming game, but it was definitely one of the first 2D adventure platforms. So it's just a case of when you see something in a video game that's a lot like something else you've seen in another video game, take it with a grain of salt. If it's not the exact same character being placed in a game, don't just immediately jump on a bandwagon and say they're copying. Oh, it's such a copy of this game. It's not, and it never will be, because companies that want to do things like this do not want to get sued. That's the last thing they want. I mean, you're going to make a video game, and you're going to make it from the ground up. You're going to develop a... what's the word? I'm sorry, everybody. I'm really sleepy. It's getting pretty late. It's almost 10 o'clock where I'm at. You're going to develop a game engine. You're going to develop a game engine and make a game from the ground up. You don't want to get sued. That's years of your life you won't get back, for one. And another thing is that will destroy you, especially if you're an indie developer. And don't get me wrong, I do not like it when games get saturated in the media, like when we see a million clones of something. I don't like that either, because it just means that there's less originality in the world. But that's why you need to pay more attention to games that do take the same thing but make it better. And you got to give them that attention, because then it just kicks the entire industry in the ass and tells them to get their shit together, you know? And then we start seeing better games. I'm not going to say that there aren't people that make the exact same video game. There are a lot of people that do that. How there are entire fan bases that do that. But it's not like those games are getting commercials advertised on television. It's not like those games are getting 10 out of 10 star reviews on every public platform in existence. It's not like those games are being shoved in your face every time that you open a YouTube video. So I don't see why there's any reason for you to complain about stuff like that. You know? Genshin Impact was big when it came out, and yes, it was getting shoved in your face a lot. I get that when it first came out. But it's because there was a lot more that went into it than just some copy-paste thing. It wasn't just copy-paste like a lot of people thought it was. People just started saying that as soon as they saw the first trailer. And that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. It's not like the game's going to reveal literally everything there is to the game when they make an announcement trailer. A, they can't do that. The game's not finished yet. And B, if they did that, then it would leave no mystery to playing the game at all, and nobody would want to get it because they'd be like, meh, I've seen games like that before, I don't care. And that's exactly what happened when Genshin first came out. Literally everybody was going, Legend of Zelda! And that's all. And that's stupid. You don't do stuff like that. You don't walk into a person's house, look at their carpet and say, that's ugly, and then leave. That's rude. That's terrible. You gotta give somebody a chance. You gotta get a chance. You gotta take the chance to know something before you can judge it, you know? And I feel like a lot of people still do that with Genshin. But there have been so many videos explaining why Genshin is such a good game. There's one guy that I watched in particular. I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel. I really need to do a better job of this. Ah, oh, damn it, that's right. It's on my sister's phone. I showed her that. Darn it. I'll post it on my Discord. I'll try and find it again, post it on my Discord. But there's a video talking about Genshin. The guy doesn't like Genshin Impact at all. He hates gacha games. But he played Genshin Impact in order to write a review on it, and he planned on ripping it apart. And don't get me wrong, he does a really good job of pointing out why the gacha is bad in this game, because it wastes a lot of your time as opposed to wasting your money. But he also went on an hours-long rant about how great this game is and how good it feels to play it and how well developed it is and how it is not a Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild clone. And if there are people out there who really don't like this game that are willing to defend it so staunchly, then it really says something about it, you know? Let's go! There's Paimon. I was wondering when she was going to show up. Alright, well that's enough ranting for me. Where's the... Where am I supposed to be going? It just says get over to there. I don't see the things I'm supposed to be collecting. I see that. If I'm supposed to be... I guess I'm just supposed to get over to there. I really hope that I didn't miss something while I was up there. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, I've got to collect these too. I got to get 30 of them. I don't know. I'll just warp somewhere else and warp back because I feel like I messed up. Can I? Yeah. Oh, does it teleport me back to... It does. Okay, good. Let's try that again. I don't know what it is you were supposed to show me, Jar Jar. But I didn't see it. Whatever it's supposed to be. Oh, I see it now. Why?
No! Not me.
I don't know why my wings didn't deploy, but they didn't.
Bryce Campbell. I do wish this game borrowed the automatic map reveals that were in YSA. I really felt like that gave me an incentive to explore, in comparison to stressing out about finding a way to expansion. The main reason I started playing Wireless Gaming on the Switch is because of software problems, but maybe that may be bugged in the future.
Yeah, if it was software problems, they could fix that. Or if it was an issue like with what's it called? Cyberpunk 2077, they could fix it. Yeah, there's Sirash. Okay, now where? Now where? Ah, over there. Yeah, see, I would have been missing all these. I gotta watch that on playback when I go to watch the quality of the stream. And see if those little green orbs showed up. Because I feel like they didn't. There we go. That wasn't so bad. I guess I just missed them when I first started. Maybe it's because they were pointing me in this direction when I was supposed to go that way. That could have been it. Was this the final test? Yeah, the trials are complete. Woohoo. You know what it is? I feel like I've been ranting so long because of the Mountain Dew I'm drinking. I'm drinking some Baja Blast, and I think I've said this before, but it gives me a lot of energy. More than I should have, because I feel like I have more energy than when I drank an energy drink. Hmm? Hmm? Friend? Yeah, Jar Jar, I'll be your friend. You put me through hell, but it's okay. That's just what friends are for. And at least it's a good ending. They're friends now. Good. I wasn't really paying attention, but I guess maybe they didn't like each other. Hooray! All done. I think I got an achievement for that too.
Loving this treasure hunt.
All right. Well, that's a pretty decent amount of content, I'd say. I had started that one challenge. I did 2 side quests to completion. So I'm wondering if I should stop at Mondstadt or Fontaine. Probably Fontaine. Seems like a good
Quick,
time.
look! Up in the sky! Look at that scorching sun! It's like a blast furnace! You know what this means? It means we have to drop everything right now and make a run for the ice cream store. We need to get 2 of the biggest cones they sell, and then it's an all-out race to see who can finish before it melts.
Okay, Navi. Is that something she says when she goes into a desert? Probably. Seems like it.
Underscore sweet. Hardware perhaps.
Hardware. Could be her hardware, yeah.
Add Astra at...
Need ice cream. Cannot compute. Must have ice cream. Oh, did I do this? I did. Alright, yeah, I did get 2 achievements. Brave shall not falter. Pass all of Jar Jar's trials. And where have you gone, my dream? Witness the tale of Javi and the dream. Ah. Anything else? No. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna take a look at my Primogem count. Alright, we're getting up there. We're gonna have a lot by the time we get Natlin. Oh, wouldn't it be weird if... Wouldn't it be weird if we have to get the dragons in the same way that we get characters? Where they have us roll for them on a banner? Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. I don't know how we're going to get them, but that would be a
How about
nightmare.
An achievement for breaking the game by covering the screen in nines?
Oh. Nah. Seems like it'd be too easy for some people. I feel like they would have tested that to make sure. Alright. Okay, so we don't have any... Alright, we don't got any new profile things or anything. Alright, cool. Go ahead and head back and end the stream. I feel like I did a pretty good job today.
Underscore sweetie.
Lots of stuff happened.
Anyways, Elle got sucrose. She's at level 18.
Oh. Do you like Sucrose? I've had Sucrose for a while. She was my win character for a while. My Animo for a while. But yeah, she's fun. She's cute, definitely. Okay. So this seems like a good place to stop. Thank you all very much for watching. Let's see. Nobody over on Twitch to thank. That sucks. We do have a new subscriber that I wanted to thank. Just pull up my list here. Alright, Blueberry Productions. Thank you so much for subscribing. Looks like they make a lot of content. You might want to check out their channel. Looks pretty interesting. Alright, so over on YouTube, I want to thank you, Bryce and Cookie. I want to thank both of you for sticking around to the end. Let's see, I gotta scroll up. There we go. I want to thank Winston and Gio for stopping by and hanging out. It was good to see you again. Thank you to Time Lords. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Captain Draco, it was fun having you here. I'm glad I was able to apologize for everything that happened yesterday, and I hope you have a great night. I hope you and Domphy both have a great night. Domphy wasn't here, but they were here the last time, and I already apologized to them on Discord, so everything's cool on that end. We'll see Domphy again soon, hopefully. And I think that's everybody. Yep. All right. So if you're watching in the archives, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and feel free to comment down below if you have any input on any of the topics we discussed today on our chill stream. We discussed a lot of stuff. We talked about gaming, we talked about health stuff, all kinds of things. But, you know, it's all just opinions. Don't take any of it to heart. These are all just my opinions. If you have anything different to say, then feel free to let me know. I'm totally fine with it. You all have a great day, great night, depending on where you live. I will keep you all posted on the community tab over on YouTube if you want to know exactly when it is I'm going to be streaming again. Let me think. Is there anything else I wanted to say before I stop? Oh yeah, I already read off all of the games that I'm going to be getting for the rest of this year. Yep, it's still an increasing and ever increasing list. So make sure to make sure to subscribe so that you can see all of it whenever it gets here. The last quarter of this year is going to be a pretty busy one. And I do plan on finishing Link's Awakening, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I don't know what other game I had. Oh, right, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Plan on finishing that too.
No, that would be cool.
Oh, okay. All right. I hope you all have a great day, great night, depending on where you live. I'm going to get to bed, and I will see you all when I see you. Good night, everybody.